Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of my Cathedral Gorge road trip. After a full day of exploring and hiking the park, I headed north to the town of Pioche, Nevada. The town is located less than 10 minutes away from where I was, which was great because I was starving. I pulled up to the historic Silver Cafe. This cafe has been serving the locals and tourists of Pioche since 1907 and claims to be the oldest cafe in Nevada still in operation. It's a very quaint place, just your small corner cafe. Some patrons in the store recommended the pork chili verde soup special, and while that sounded really good, it was way too hot to eat soup. So I went with their sauteed mushroom burger. It was really good. The bottomless lemonade really helped quench my thirst too. After a nice chat with one of the owners of the cafe about the town, it was time to explore a little of it. Alright, so we are in the town of Pioche. I guess that's how you say it. The town's origins date all the way back to 1864 when the local silver mine opened. The local native tribes didn't take too kindly to that and forced the settlers out. In 1869, Francois Pioche bought the town and helped put an end to the tribal raids. The violence in the town didn't stop there, though. It quickly developed a reputation for being one of the roughest and most violent towns in the Old West, and still carries a similar reputation today as the liveliest ghost town in Nevada. Check out my ghost town tour I did on the western side of Nevada, where I visited the towns of Rhyolite, Goldfield, and Tonopah. So I'm gonna check up here. There's a couple old buildings. There's the old Opera House and the old Gem Theater. Get your Ford serviced here. The old Thompson's Opera House. Built in 1873, Thompson's Opera House served as a community meeting house, dance hall, and a theater. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1984 and is one of just 3 19th century theaters remaining in Nevada. They have in here for quite a while, I'm guessing. Next to it is the Gem Theater. Built in 1937 by the same owner as the Opera House, the theater's popularity for showing movies overshadowed the Opera House and hastened its decline. The theater was shuttered in 2002 when it was severely damaged in a windstorm. There is an effort to restore and reopen the theater by the Friends of the Gem Theater Nonprofit Society. I'll provide a link in the description below for more information. Once I got my fill of Pioche, I began making my way south towards the town of Panaca, where I was staying for the night. The owner at the Silver Cafe mentioned a hot springs located just outside of Panaca. That sounded like a great idea after my long day of hiking. I found the spring just to the north of town. It wasn't exactly a hot spring, more warm than anything, but it felt great. Alright, we are here at the Panaca Warm Springs. I'm gonna go jump right in, see how it is. Just came back from my swim at the hot springs. Not very hot, more like warm springs. I'm just outside of Cathedral Gorge. It's not even 10 minutes away. I'm staying at this bed and breakfast called Swallow's Cove. It's very cute. I'm actually up there, see that top window? In what's called the Rancher's Retreat, which is the largest accommodation available with 2 rooms and a full kitchen. It was nice and cozy, but I kept getting locked out of my room. The next morning, I walked over to the sister property of the Swallows Cove, the Pine Tree Inn, where they offered a free breakfast, some scrambled eggs, bacon, and pancakes. Nothing too fancy, but great enough to get me going on my next leg of my road trip. I also met some fellow travelers and adventurers who also visited the park or were heading there that day. We exchanged stories and had a good time over some coffee. next stop is located just outside the town of Enterprise, Utah. There lies several monuments dedicated to a very dark chapter in the history of the region. We are here at the Meadows Massacre site. Interesting story about this site. Let's go take a look at this plaque here. In September of 1857, during the time of the Utah War, in which Mormon settlers faced off against soldiers of the U.S. government, a wagon train of immigrants, mostly from Arkansas, were attacked and eventually massacred by members of the local Mormon militia. The entire area is dotted with memorials to those tragic events. Let's do this hike up to the overlook, and then we'll drive down to the actual memorial. It's a fascinating story that ends in tragedy. It is said that only the youngest children were spared. I'll post some links in the description below if you'd like to learn more. That was the memorial. We're going to do this little walking trail. It's about 270 yards out to another smaller memorial out there. Alright everyone, so that's it from the Meadows Massacre site. We are jumping back onto the road, heading south towards St. George area. We're going to make a stop in this called VEYO. Apparently they have really good pies at a store there. I'm going to pick me up some pies on the way home. And then it's off back home towards Las Vegas. Thanks for joining me on this little trip up to Cathedral Gorge State Park, up to Pioche, town of Pioche, checking that out, and staying at the town of Panaca. If you enjoyed my content, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notifications buttons. Leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, go places, see things, and do stuff. Catch you guys all later.